Stop whatever you're doing. This is not a drill. Something beyond your wildest understanding is about to crash through your reality, and you have only a handful of days to prepare. By Friday evening, you won't just have vague suspicions or half-formed guesses. You'll understand precisely why God sent you this message today. It's not happenstance that these words have found you at this exact moment. There's a reason your eyes are moving across this text, a reason your heart is beginning to flutter with a strange mix of excitement and trepidation. Forces that you can't yet see have aligned events, people, and possibilities so that you'd be right here, right now, absorbing a truth that could alter your destiny before we continue proof. You are not just a spectator on the sidelines of your own life. Hit that like button, subscribe. Leave a comment with 77 to send that unmistakable signal to the universe, and also type ready for what next as your declaration that you're here to play an active role. Don't even think about skipping ahead. There's something waiting in the 4th chapter that will shine a light on everything else. Tying together loose ends you didn't know existed. If you rush or bail early, you'll miss that crucial piece. Stay until the 4th chapter and witness a revelation that can shift the entire course of your future. Right now, you stand at a threshold of deeper meaning and boundless possibility. On the other side lies the knowledge of why God specifically chose this timing. Let's move forward and uncover what destiny has placed before you. Chapter 1. The veil between what you see and what is true. You've navigated life as though you were skimming the surface of a vast ocean, never fully diving into the depths below. It's not your fault. Most people stick to the familiar shoreline of their comfort zones. Meanwhile, beneath the gentle waves, a whole world teems with life mystery and currents pulling in directions you can't imagine right now. That hidden dimension is stirring, bringing something enormous to the surface. Something that God wants you to see. Your day-to-day existence might seem mundane. Commutes, errands, bills, conversations that repeat the same patterns. But beneath that predictability, intricate webs of meaning stretch into places you've never thought to look. Signs and signals tap gently at the edges of your awareness. A recurring number might follow you around, a particular phrase might pop up in unrelated conversations, or a dream might linger strangely in your mind. You've probably shrugged these things off as coincidences, never imagining they could be clues placed deliberately along your path. Try something today. Close your eyes for a moment and recall 3 small OD-ities you've noticed recently. Maybe it's an encounter with a stranger who said something oddly resonant, a song that played at a moment you needed encouragement, or even a sudden urge to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in years. Write these 3 odd occurrences down. Don't judge them. Just acknowledge that they exist. By doing this, you are starting to map the subtle signals that have been quietly orchestrating a narrative too big to fit into your current perception. It's possible that God or the divine force you trust has been sending these signals not as tests but as breadcrumbs, leading you toward something crucial. Perhaps the timing of this message aligns with events you've been experiencing, a shift in your personal relationships, unexpected news at work, or a decision you can no longer put off. None of these are arbitrary. The divine plan isn't random, it's intricate. Yes, and often defies logic, but it's always purposeful. As we move closer to Friday evening, these threads will tighten, forming a pattern you can't ignore. The very fact that you're reading these words at this moment in your life means something significant is afoot. The veil between what you think is true and what actually is true is thinning. This isn't about instilling fear, it's about preparing you. You're being ready to understand a much larger story. In many traditions, a veil symbolizes the boundary between the seen and unseen, the known and unknown. When that veil lifts even slightly, suddenly you realize you've been operating with partial information. It's like discovering a hidden room in your own home, one you never knew existed, filled with tools, wisdom, and paths leading to your next evolution. You might feel a mixture of excitement and anxiety at the thought of stepping beyond familiar limits. But take heart. These opportunities wouldn't present themselves if you weren't ready. This chapter sets the stage. You've been living in a reality too small, too confined. Now life is about to show you what lies beyond the edges of that frame by acknowledging the subtle hints and embracing the possibility that nothing is a coincidence. You prime yourself for the revelations to come. Keep hold of your curios. As we progress, soon the pieces will begin falling into place. Just remember, make no mistake, by Friday evening, you'll understand why this message came at precisely this point in time. Stay with me. Move forward and keep your senses on high alert. The veil is thinning, and you're about to see what's on the other side. Chapter 2. The map hidden in your daily encounters. Think of your life as a vast landscape you've been navigating with incomplete directions. You've followed roads laid out by family expectations, cultural norms, or personal habits. Yet what if beneath the familiar map, there's another layer, a secret chart penned by divine hands guiding you to places you've never dared to venture? Right now, you might be feeling a nudge, a sense of being on the brink of a discovery. It's as though the universe is whispering in your ear. Look closer, the clues are all around you. Perhaps you've noticed subtle patterns, the same phrase appearing in multiple conversations, a recurring symbol showing up in dreams, or an inner voice urging you to consider choices you've long avoided. These are not random happenstances, they are part of a hidden cartography, a map designed to lead you toward deeper truth, to tap into this hidden map. Try a simple action today at some point. Step outside your regular routine, even in a small way. Take a different route home. Listen to a genre of music you usually ignore. Strike up a conversation with someone you'd normally pass by without a second glance. As you do this, pay attention to what feelings arise, what bits of information cross your path. Maybe a stranger's offhand comment will resonate with something you've been pondering. Maybe a billboard you've never noticed before will stand out with a message that seems addressed to you personally. The key is openness. By shifting one small habit, you create space for new information to appear. The divine doesn't always communicate through thunderous proclamations or miracles that defy all reason often. It speaks quietly, weaving subtle hints into ordinary moments. The problem is that most people rush through life on autopilot, their senses dulled by routine and expectation. By choosing to slow down to become a noticer rather than a reactor, you awaken to the presence of these hints. They're like sparkling breadcrumbs scattered along your path, waiting for you to pick them up and follow where they lead. As the week progresses and Friday evening draws nearer, these hints will converge. You'll start to see that the events and interactions leading up to that day form a pattern. The questions you've been wrestling with, the uncertainties you've been tolerating, and the goals you've half forgotten might suddenly gain clarity. There is an intelligence at work behind the scenes, orchestrating encounters and timing so that you receive exactly what you need to understand your next step. Don't be afraid to ask internally for guidance. Something as simple as pausing in the middle of your day to say, "I'm listening. Show me what I need to know," can open doors you didn't realize were there. This request isn't about demanding miracles, it's about aligning yourself with the divine current already flowing through your life. The moment you acknowledge that your journey might be guided by a higher wisdom, you invite the wisdom to become more transparent. Yet remember, there's a crucial piece waiting in the 4th chapter. Without it, you may sense the pattern but not grasp their full meaning. So keep going. Each insight in these early chapters lays the groundwork, preparing you to recognize and interpret what's coming. You wouldn't appreciate a masterpiece by looking at a single brushstroke. You need the full painting. Similarly, each chapter you absorb reveals a portion of the grand design. Your daily encounters, no matter how trivial they seem, could be coded messages. By becoming aware of this possibility, you turn mundane life into a treasure hunt, each clue leading you closer to understanding why God sent this message at this exact moment. Imagine how liberating it will feel to look back on this week and realize nothing was wasted or accidental. Continue forward with intention. Keep your senses sharp. The hidden map is there, waiting for you to perceive it soon. These scattered clues will form a coherent picture that not only makes sense of your immediate circumstances, but also guides you toward a future more aligned with your true purpose. Chapter 3. Releasing old beliefs. To clear the path before you can fully interpret the signs and read the hidden map, you must confront something else: your own limiting beliefs. We all carry internal scripts telling us what's possible, what we deserve, and how life should unfold. These beliefs often stem from past disappointments, cultural conditioning, or fears inherited from others, but they act like blinders, narrowing your field of vision to see clearly. You need to shed these outdated assumptions. Consider which beliefs might be holding you back. Maybe you tell yourself you're not smart enough for a particular dream, or that you've missed your window of opportunity. Maybe you've accepted that this is just how life is, never daring to question whether it could be different. These beliefs cloud your perception, making it harder to notice the opportunities and guidance that are right in front of you. Try a small exercise, pick one limiting belief you know you carry, write it down on a piece of paper, then write the opposite statement, one that affirms possibility and growth. For instance, if your limiting belief is "I never get good opportunities," the opposite might be "Opportunities flow to me when I'm open and ready to receive them." Spend a few minutes meditating on this positive statement, allowing yourself to feel what life would be like if it were true. Then tear up the paper with the old belief. Symbolic acts matter, because they engage your subconscious, signaling that you're ready to let go of old patterns. As you release these internal barriers, notice how your attention sharpens without the heavy baggage of "I am." If it's too late, you become more receptive to the subtle clues. Life offers suddenly but random conversation in the grocery store line seems charged with meaning. The book that falls off the shelf in front of you carries a message you actually need. Events that once seemed neutral or irrelevant now shimmer with significance by Friday evening. You'll need this heightened awareness. God didn't send this message for you to remain stuck in old mindsets. There's a breakthrough coming, but it requires you to step into a clearer mental and emotional space. This breakthrough may redefine what you believe about yourself, your path, and even how the universe works. When your beliefs become flexible, your world expands. You can accept gifts you previously pushed away without realizing it. Think back to the first 2 chapters. We discussed the veil between your known reality and hidden truths, and the map woven into your daily encounters. Now we add another layer: the importance of your inner landscape. It's not enough to just look out into the world for signs. You must also ensure the lens through which you perceive these signs is clean and unobstructed. Old beliefs may try to resurface, especially as you approach something so transformative. Fear often rises right before a major breakthrough. It's your mind's way of resisting change, but now you know this pattern and you can respond with curiosity instead of panic. Ask yourself, what if this fear is just a sign that I'm on the right track? What if crossing this threshold brings rewards I can't even imagine yet? You'll find that as you loosen your grip on old narratives, your intuition sharpens. Intuition thrives in open spaces. Free from the clutter of negative self-talk and rigid assumptions. As you let go, you create room for divine whispers to grow louder, guiding you toward the understanding you'll have by Friday evening. Remember, the 4th chapter holds a crucial key. You're nearing that point. Everything you've learned so far about subtle clues, hidden maps, and releasing beliefs is preparing you for a singular insight that will snap these pieces into a coherent whole. Keep going. Absorb each lesson fully. By the time you reach that pivotal revelation, you'll be ready to integrate it seamlessly, allowing it to transform not just a single day, but the entire trajectory of your life. Chapter 4. The pivotal inside that links it all together. Here it is. You've made it to the chapter that holds the key piece, the inside that connects all the subtle hints, the hidden map, and the inner shifts you've been encouraged to embrace. By now you understand that God's message isn't just words on a screen, it's part of a larger narrative, a divine script playing out through your life. You've learned to pay attention to small signs, to question your beliefs, and to open your mind to broader possibilities. Now let's distill all of that into a single powerful realization. You are not just passively receiving this guidance. You are an active participant in its unfolding. Every clue, every nudge, every synchronicity you've encountered has been responding to subtle signals you send out through your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. In other words, God isn't working independently of you. God is collaborating with you. This changes everything. It means that what happens by Friday evening isn't a pre-packaged destiny dropped into your lab. It's the product of an ongoing conversation between your soul and the divine. Yes, there is a higher intelligence nudging event into place, but it's meeting you halfway the moment you decided to tune in to question old beliefs, to look for meaning. In ordinary encounters, you activated a two-way flow of energy. Try a short visualization. Imagine standing in a vast field under a starlit sky. Each star,